Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to the Prime Lacrosse YouTube page. I got two of my girls here today, Layla, Johanna. They're gonna be helping us to get better at getting more buckets on free positions. So we're gonna be covering one aspect of free positions today. We're not gonna be covering all the different options you have. You have about 6 or 7 options from the offensive side that you can do. And we're not gonna be even talking about defensive tactics, just a little bit. So if you guys are ready to get better at free positions like right now, go ahead and stay tuned. Let's get into it. All right, guys, so we're gonna be talking about how to not get your shot deflected on run-ins on free positions, or some people call them 8 meters. And so what we're gonna be working on is 2 different tactics: tucking and sealing, or getting that shot off quicker. Because a very common thing that happens to newer or more intermediate players is as they run in, they run too deep, and maybe they're not as fast, maybe they just ran from the other side of the field, maybe they're tired, maybe that adjacent defender is very, very fast. They'll run in, they'll hold that shot, and at the last minute, once the stick side defender has already gotten their stick into deflection position or checking position, they'll take that shot, get the shot deflected, ball goes flying all over the place, or it might continue going in line to the cage, but it's so slow, goalie has an easy time saving it. So let me show you what this actually looks like. Johanna and Layla are going to be my defenders. This defender over here is going to be forcing me into the stick side defender. This is where most of the trouble happens. So we're going to get down in our nice stagger stance, and we're going to walk this through. All right, twee, we're walking. So now stick is up. I see this adjacent defender stick side, and now I haven't released. Now she's getting into position, that stick comes, and then I take that shot. Boom, deflection. Now let's go a little bit faster so I could show you again how that looks like. So we set up on our hash. Again, maybe I'm a little bit tired. Maybe she's just faster than me and she could beat me to the spot. Or maybe I just hold the shot a little bit too long. Ready, tweet, here we go, boom. And that's what happens too. That's very good that happened. Does that happen to you? If it does, I'm gonna give you 2 ways to fix that so you don't get your shot deflected. Let me show you. So tactic number 1, if you want to run it in and not get your shot deflected, you probably need to shoot a little quicker. So we're gonna toe up to the line again. Instead of taking 3, 4, 5 steps in, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take maybe about 1 or 2 steps in. You could start here, you could start here. I like it here in this position, meaning my stick is above my shoulder, kind of like in this triple threat position, especially for newer players, for more intermediate players, for players who know what they're doing. They could set up tricks on their setup. Anyways, we're gonna start here. Sorry about the cut, we had a phone call come in. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna walk it through. So notice how I'm not going to hold that shot until I get deep inside the 8. Now look, if she goes super slow and she's not even in the mix in terms of the play, yeah, sure, run it in, take your time. But let's just say she's going to beat me to the spot. Ready, and tweet. Boom, and I'm taking that shot pretty quick. There's no chance, I won't say there's no chance, but there's a very small window of opportunity for her to get to my stick. What that requires in order for you to be successful is you gotta be really good at shooting, good at placement. You gotta have some zip and pizzazz on your ball, meaning when you shoot, you gotta have some speed on it. Okay, so that's tactic number 1. I would say what you can do to practice this: get your goal at home. You don't need a crease, you don't need a goalie. Just have a mom, dad, sister, teammate playing stick side defender, and all you're trying to do is get off this line pretty quick. Another thing to be said about running it in this way is that in our stance as we set up, we definitely want to be staggered, and we want to load this back leg so when we push, it's going to launch us more explosively. That's a whole different video. We won't even go into it at that point. But again, this, we're gonna take 1, 2 steps in and fire. Ready, stick side defender, ready, help side defender. Now I'm gonna go a little bit faster. We're gonna go a little faster. Ready, oh, no cheating, no cheating. Ready, tweet. Boom, just like that. No chance for these defenders to get that. Let's get into tactic number 2, which is the tuck and the seal. So what is that? So instead of running it down and taking 2 steps and shooting it, What I am gonna do, stick side defender, is try and seal or cut her off, and I'm going to veer in her direction. So let's get ready to go. We're gonna walk it. She's gonna meet me maybe there. I wanna stay away from this defender because maybe she's just faster than me. Maybe I know I could beat her, right? Or maybe she's faster, but she's not quicker. That's a thing to think about. So now we're gonna walk it through, tweet. So I'm going here, I see that stick coming, boom, I'm staying away from her. I tuck, 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 and I'm hitting it just like that. Also notice on this shot, where my hands were. Come back over here, stick side defender, Miss Layla. Her stick is right here. Now she's behind because I did a great job of sealing her, taking the body contact, but this is her last ray of hope as a defender. So now check this out. Notice where my hands are on this, right? Top hand's pretty high on the stick. That's definitely helpful for stick protection. Bottom hand kind of chokes up, especially for those short queens out there, right? You can also get it to here, that's totally fine. And notice this shot though. Notice how it doesn't extend out of my frame, because if Layla's a very smart, opportunistic defender, that is what will happen. So now I keep it inside and I finish with maybe like this tomahawk shot, meaning it's coming from inside my shoulders. You call it the nose breaker, you call it whatever else you want to call it. And now we're coming, I keep my speed, and then I finish just like that. So that's the tuck, the seal, and the tomahawk shot. So let me show you a little bit quicker. I'm going to show you one more time going Layla's way, and then I'll show you one more time going Johanna's way. So now we're going to toe up to the line. Again, I'm not going to necessarily go straight in. Let me show you what it looks like going straight in and then cutting. Ready? Tweet. I'm going straight in, and then it doesn't really work that well. So we definitely want to start with a veer or a lean, a seal on this defender a lot earlier. Let's do it again. Again, also, I got to take into account how fast she is. If she's 10 times faster and very quick off of this line, I probably don't want to go her way. I don't want to veer into her too much. I could bump her a little bit, but that's going to be a harder shot stick side. So let's do it a little bit quicker now. Ready, and tweet. Oh. So that was a little bit quicker. Notice how on my run, I didn't finish right here and stop running. My run path extended way past the camera going that way. I was able to seal my defender off. There was nothing she could do besides just foul me or push me, and I was able to get that bucket. Okay, so now let me show you what it looks like cutting her off. Get a quick ball right here. I like orange. You like orange? You like orange, right? My favorite ball is actually the green ball. Okay, so this one we might get cut off. Actually, let me get Johanna right here. Let me take the spot right here. So now, this is not something you would necessarily practice from this hash. On the center hash, you kind of typically can go left or right. That's your best 50-50 ball, get behind the hash. Now I'm gonna cut Johanna off on this side. So again, you can set up like this, you can set up like this. Again, the stagger step right here, how you load the back leg is super important. Ready, tweet. Boop. So, those are two different ways to avoid, come on, bring it in. Those are two different ways to avoid getting your shot deflected when you're taking free positions from pretty much whatever hash. It's a very common thing that happens to younger, less experienced players that don't take too much time working on free positions per se. So if you want to get better at this like today, in like the next week, it doesn't take that long, start setting up 8 meters. It's about 11 steps from the crease, right? You can go 11 steps or probably about like 13 steps from the actual cage, and then 6 steps apart for each hash. Get a parent, brother, sister, dog if you want to. Dog's probably gonna be a little too unruly. And then start putting in those work. Those are 2 tactics. First tactic, shoot earlier, 2 to 3 steps, fire quicker. Second tactic, tuck and seal. All right, everyone, that is your breakdown on how to avoid getting your shot deflected on free positions. It's gonna happen sometimes, but that's all right. Keep working on it and you'll get it. And if you like this video and you found value in it, go ahead and become a Prime Lacrosse YouTube subscriber. We're dropping fire content like this all the time. Don't forget to hit the notification bell and drop a comment if this was helpful. All right, let's clap it up. Good job, yeah. Good job to the ladies. Good job, good job, good job. See you on the field next time. Great success.